Nothing is going to change unless you put your feet to the ground and say, I'm digging my heels in. I know it's going to be hard. I know I'm going to have pushback. I know it's going to be requiring me to put time into it. When all my friends are out there running around and clubbing and doing this and chasing tail and doing this and doing that and drinking and having fun on the weekends, no, I'm going to be in these charts studying. I'm going to be living my life differently. But they're still going to be out there trying to chase tail, broke as fuck, driving a beater fucking car, ain't doing shit in their life. And you'll be able to pull down annual fucking salaries on a week. You can't even imagine where you're going to be. You can't even imagine it. Whatever you think is your level of success, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. You have no idea when you strip all these limitations that you put on yourself. You shackle yourself with your own mindset. You do it. This is all I can see myself doing right now. When you start making $100,000 a year, you start thinking to yourself, well, shit, that wasn't all that hard. I thought it was really hard. Well, now I'm going to aim for $500,000. And the attempts that you do to do that, you get there in less than half the time. And you start thinking, well, shit, they say the first $1 million is the hardest one. I'm about there. Boom, in a couple more months, and then you're there. Then you look back and say, $1 million isn't all that much money. And yeah, it took some effort, but it didn't take as much effort as I thought it was going to take. And then you start making $5 million, $10 million. 15 million, 50 million. And I know I'm talking in numbers none of you can fucking comprehend, but it is what it is, folks. It's just math. It's just math. You're compounding the efforts of what you're able to do on the smallest form. In that little cookie cutter mold that I'm going to find 5 handles in the S&P to begin with. And I'm going to let it grow till I can start doing 8. And then 10, or start with 20 in NASDAQ and work towards 30 and 40 to 50. You only got to do them a few times a week, folks. And as your equity increases, you can afford to do more contracts. That compounds, and you keep adding it more and more and more. But the level of risk is always the same. Whatever you associate in terms of your risk, I'm not going to risk more than 1%. But I can't get rich trading with 1%. Bullshit. You can get rich trading with 1/4 of 1%. You have to submit the time. None of you want to do that part, but that's the part you have to submit to. That's the first thing I submitted to when I first started trading. I had a 20-year plan. Imagine me writing a book. How to be successful and retire 20 years as a trader. Nobody's buying that book. Now, in the 80s and the 90s, that would have been a great title because everything was around what? And for you younger folks, you ain't going to know this, but it was all mutual fund. It was when mutual funds and fidelity. Everybody was trying to get people to invest in these mutual funds. And they were projecting, this is what you should do. Average is 12% return on stocks over the course of the years. You put this much money in, your money can compound. You'll have $1 million by the time you're whatever. So I was like, well, shit. If I can make 12% in a mutual fund a year, what happens if I start making 12% a month? And then what happens when I start making 12% every 2 weeks? And then what happens if I make 12% a week? And what happens if I can compound my efforts and find trades that yield 12% in the same day? Suddenly, all these big numbers that were fearful for me as even contemplating as realistic ever to reach for, they became reachable. Because I'm not increasing the level of effort in my trades. All I need is the setup. And as the equity increases in the baseline is whatever it is at the time, it's $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million account. Whatever that is, the risk percentage is never increasing. So whatever you've adopted as your model is, this is what I'm going to risk. It's going to be 1% or less. It's going to be 0.5%. It's going to be 1/4%. You're trying to tell me you're not satisfied risking 1/4 of 1% of $1 million if you have that in your trading. Okay, it's real money, not funded bullshit. It's real money, and you're able to take down a setup that yields 5 to 8 to 10 times what you're risking. Really? You don't think that that's a good living? 50 fucking grand a week? You can't get rich? Oh yeah, you're fucking great. That's rich. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You failed math. But you have to give yourself time.
Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday, everybody. How's everybody feeling? Good? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Say what's up in the chat, like the stream. You guys know the drill. Let's see who we got in here. What's up, Drop Shop? Good morning, X3, Never Give Up Trader, Raul, Flavless, Daybot, Jorno. What's up, MJ? Good morning, Barney. First time in the chat. Welcome, Barney. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Dominic, K-Van Chan, Sherry? Good morning. Oh, good morning, guys. What's up, Kookie? Azizul, Cole, Ella, Track, Nadav, Soné. Good morning. What's up, Johnny? I'm doing good, man. How you doing? What's up, Blank Trades? Good morning, guys. Good morning, Alex. All right, happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. We are going to be diving in here. Oops. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. All right. So diving in here, we got no news Monday today, but it is NFP week. So NFP week NFP on Friday. It's going to be kind of an interesting week, boys and girls. We have FOMC on Wednesday, NFP on Friday. Obviously, NFP protocol is trading Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday being either sidelined or obviously just really cautious being the day before NFP. But it's just going to be interesting. I can't remember ever really I don't know if I remember ever a week where there was FOMC and NFP in the same week, because we got FOMC really late this month. So yeah, we'll see how the week plays out, and we'll see obviously how today goes, being the only no news day of the entire week. So you know, you guys can let me know your opinions in the chat of what kind of day you think we're going to get. Looking at the poll, we're like 58% bullish today. So go figure with that. But you know, it could be one of those days where it's a little bit choppier, and if it is, we'll look to identify that as early as possible and try to avoid any sort of fuckery, if that's what we're going to get, boys and girls. But we'll see. Looking at the charts here, obviously we gapped up. Pretty nice size opening range gap, or not opening range gap, new week opening gap to begin the week. We got what? About a 70 point opening gap to start the week. We're trading down into that right now. Just looking at the structure here a little bit, you know, looking here at the hourly on the NASDAQ, we basically traded down into the new week opening gap, formed a bearish fair value gap. We trade up into that, hit the new week opening gap high one more time. You can see price continuing to move lower again, looking like we're going to close this entire gap. ES is about to do so as we speak. So a little bit more strength right now on NQ from, I guess, just looking at the new week opening gap and the willingness to go lower here. But oops. Looking at the overnight sessions, London took out Asia high, seeing this movement lower. Market opens up here in like 10 seconds. So let's see how this opening range reacts. I can't say right now definitively if I have more of a bullish or bearish bias, you know, for the day necessarily. All I can say is this, you know, just looking at price action right now, it looks like we're showing respect to bearish PD rays on the, at least on the hourly, right? So as you scale up the 4 hour, we could see this hold and maybe make a turn back to the upside. But I'm just gonna wait and see what we get here into the opening range and see how price responds and see what sets up, boys and girls. But yeah, we'll see what today brings. Should be an exciting week nonetheless. Lots of news, lots of stuff going on. Ready for the win streak for this week, buddy? Yeah, me too. What's up, Dom? Good to see you, man. Do you still review your trades over the weekend or just golf it up? Yeah, well, this weekend I kind of just golfed it up. Last week was, I don't know about you guys, I felt like last week was overall pretty good. Had one red day, which was Monday. and then was green every day, Tuesday through Friday after that. So, I mean, it was all right. There's always things that you're never gonna be perfect, but I felt like overall I did what I said I wanted to do going into last week. Last week I was obviously very light as far as the economic calendar goes. And I said that I wanted to be nimble, take low-hanging fruit targets, not get greedy, overstay my welcome in trades. So that was my plan going into the trading week last week because of the economic calendar. And I felt like I handled that pretty good. I think there's really only like maybe one trade where I probably got a little impatient and took it off a little too early, but it still never hit my final target anyway. So I don't know if it would have even mattered. So, but no, I was pretty content with how I performed last week overall, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, as far as this week goes, what is everybody's opinion on the week? Let's go with that. What is everybody thinking that this is going to create with the Fed funds rate decision? Let's see what the expectation is actually. Okay, so it's expected to not change, but we'll see. Obviously, there's been a ton of pressure. Talks of Powell getting resigning or getting fired, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen anymore. So they keep flip-flopping on that. I know that, I mean, if we see interest rates come down, I believe we'll just keep seeing price continue to climb here. But if prices stay unchanged, I mean, again, still at all-time highs. So until we get something else that drives market lower, I still feel like we'll get that, right? So the only way that things change is if something totally unexpected happens. But I guess we'll see, boys and girls. Is anybody in the chat like a perma bear that's just like waiting for some major crash to happen or what? There's always one in every crowd, at least. There's always one, right? All-time highs every day, Trump market, yeah. Trump negotiated EU to give U.S. all the male newborns. Trump negotiated EU to give us all the male newborns. Really? Hell yeah. That's my president. Yeah, deport all the Latinas and give us all the male newborns. No, I'm just kidding. A huge crash is inevitable. Well, eventually it's inevitable, TC. I mean, if you say it's going to go down long enough, eventually you'll be right. Eventually you'll be right. Trading up into this 15-minute gap right now here on the NASDAQ. Right now it's looking like a pretty choppy open for the most part. Huge wicks back and forth here. I don't think we've got a first presented gap yet either. I don't see one. How many people? Yeah, not very many of you guys voted for chop. Guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. NFP protocol is interesting because obviously NFP protocol calls for like your most probable days being Monday through Wednesday. But what's also interesting is if you guys pay attention to the FOMC weeks, a lot of the times we get like kind of some shit action leading up to FOMC. FOMC is always on a Wednesday, and it's like Monday, Tuesday are always a little bit more so like feels like pulling teeth sometimes for good delivery, but that's why this week is unique. Just like all of you, this week is unique. What structure would I look for longs? I would say, given the fact that I would just say most recently we've kind of disrespected, or not, I shouldn't say disrespected, but we've been just respecting bearish PD arrays, especially like here on the hourly. And then we form this bearish PD array, this 15-minute gap here. And I guess you could call this a order block, breaker block, because it really doesn't matter. But if this were to hold, you could still frame a movement lower. So honestly, yeah, I feel like I would need to start seeing this breakdown. It is a big gap, so could maybe look to see how we close. We got 9 minutes left on this candle, but to see how we close potentially around the midpoint, of this gap as well. But I would say for me to start looking for longs, I'd probably want to see this get disrespected, and then could look for a movement higher, maybe back towards the London high, or at least New York midnight. But that's what I would say. Otherwise, like I said, if this just kind of wicks down and we start to hold and displace lower, then, well, I think we just got to stay on side with order flow, right? Look for, you know, internal lows here from Friday. So we shall see. I don't see anything right now that I want to take. I think you could frame probably both sides. I guess if you're feeling real aggressive and bullish. I know the chat was mostly bullish, so I guess if chat was trying to front run that, you could roll the dice, I suppose, but I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. We'll be all right. ES, by the way, did close the new week opening gap. So I think that is important to note. So gap closure on ES. Obviously, NQ, a little bit more strength. But if you're looking for the gap fill, consider your gap filled. Consider that gap of yours filled, would you? But anyway, yeah, only 7 minutes into the open. We'll see. This is still anyone's ball game. How was your month, Tyler? It's all right. It's going pretty good. It's I feel like it was a slow start, and we're finally. I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like we're catching a little momentum here in the last couple weeks. Davidson's in along. Good luck, dude. Good luck, good luck. What's up, Ice the Trader? We have first FVG. We do. Yeah, right here. Not the biggest gap I've ever seen, and I've seen some big gaps, boys and girls, but we'll see how we do. We're right in the middle of this 15-minute, just hit the midpoint of this 15-minute SIBI. And the hourly is going to close here in about 20 minutes. So, what's up, Reef? Good morning, Javaz. Yeah, boys and girls, played I think one of the worst rounds of golf of my life yesterday. She was a hot one though. Oh my god, it's like 90 degrees. I'm just sopping wet on the golf course, just dripping. It was a tough course though. So that counts for something, right? Yeah, that's the problem, Jorno. It was not sub 100. No. After about hole 5 or 6. Yeah, it was starting to look like, all right. You just kind of increase it. Like originally I'm like, oh, let's try to break 90. And then after like 5 holes, it was like, yeah, never mind, let's just try to break 100. And then after like 9 holes, it was like, yeah, actually, let's just try to break 110. Yeah, I shot a 108. It was not good. Not good. Those 3 putts will get you. That's the thing. Not only that, but like when I'm chipping too, I'm sculling the ball way over the green on the other side. I need like a 20-foot chip, and I end up freaking yanking it 50 feet off the green the other direction. Loser. Starting to get priced, looking like it might hold this gap and push for lower here. Oh, man. 15-minute close in 5 minutes. I think we had any SMT here. Oh, I guess we did, actually, yeah. We did SMT internally here with ES. ES is the weaker one, so if you are looking for lower, I guess if you could have tried to maybe put yourself in ES, might have made more sense, but That's true, Kev. It is all in the hips. Well, here's the thing, Kev, about these hips. These hips don't lie, and that's one thing that, you know, I don't know if I got that from my mom or my uncle, but my hips don't lie. These hips don't lie, personally, yeah. I've seen some that do. You know, I just never wanted to be that person. So, it is what it is. Is TradingView a bit laggy on PA compared to Tradeovate? Yes. Yeah. There's a little bit of latency with TradingView. I love using TradingView. I think it's clean. I love executing on TradingView, as you guys know. Obviously, it's not, in terms of performance, it's not your best option. You know, executing on NinjaTrader charts or executing on Tradeovate would be, you know, better in terms of, you know, not having that latency with the chart, but it's just so clean. I mean, just look at this chart. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, no shade on NinjaTrader, but I mean, a little prehistoric. Can we agree? It feels like I'm back on MetaTrader a little bit. Again, no shade on NinjaTrader. No shade. Great charts. Great charts, NinjaTrader. But look at this. This is so pretty. This is so nice. Right, chat? All right. Yeah, this is our first presented fair value gap right here. We did inverse it. We were coming back up and testing it again. This is pretty tight range right now, to be honest, boys and girls. Holding the 15-minute right now. 15-minute will close in 3 minutes. So unless something really changes here soon, it looks like we'll hold this gap for lower. To me, again, not wanting to be bullish until like that were to get disrespected. Again, unless something changes here in the next few minutes, but and then we'll see how the hourly closes as well. I think it'll be important. Just these are the hourly candles right here. You know, if this hourly were to wick back up and close back inside this range, I think that would be an indication for some upside as well. We just got to be patient and wait for the close, though. Every day, Tyler's starting to sound more and more like Daddy Trump. How so? Trading the DAX, Nick. Barney said, if you are using what, Barney? You gotta finish the rest of that sentence. You can't be leaving me hanging, bro. Meant like how he talks? What did I say? Huge. My score on the golf course yesterday was huge. This is the higher time frame power of 3. You guys can see like any indicators I'm using here on the upper left. This is the higher time frame power of 3. And this one is the pro version. There is a free version where you can see just one candle. This is the pro version. I do have it linked in the description of the stream. If you do want to check it out, it is a paid subscription to these, like this pro version and these stat map indicators. But yeah, there is a free version, higher time frame power of 3 as well, where you just see one candle. But you can change it to be the hourly, the daily, the 4-hour, whatever you want. But yeah, that's what this is. So 15 just closed, and it did close below 50%, but we did close a bullish. Did you talk about that the Trump video of him on the golf course where the caddy like just threw the ball on the ground for him? I saw that. That was funny. No, I wish. If anything, my caddy doesn't let me get away with anything. No, bro, no, that's actually an extra stroke right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's how that goes. Son of a bitch. What do you guys think? Are we about to flip this hourly all the way back green? Davidson, were you still holding your long by chance? You said you were long like up here. I don't know if you held down through this or if this got you out or what, but now we're flipping this. But this is good. This could be what we need to start looking for longs. Just thought it would be better safe than sorry, boys and girls. Didn't want to get caught trying to front run something, trying to look cool. And then I'm sitting there, you know, liquidated in my chair. We've all been there. We have all been there. Yeah, I'm still not touching this yet. Just kind of commentating on what's currently happening and what we might see. But hourly close here in 12, 13 minutes. Like, I'm not interested in longing this either, to be honest. I'll let this play out a little bit. Macro starts in a few minutes. Yes, there is a higher time frame, candle by Fadi, show multiple time frame. Yeah. There is a couple free ones that you can use. Like I said, I don't think you don't need any paid indicators. These ones, you know, if you want them, they're nice, but you don't need them, right? So there's plenty of free ones. I have that higher time frame one by Fadi as well, saved on my favorites, but I will say it is nice having the higher time frame always right here, so you can just kind of see how it's forming side by side with the smaller time frames. That way you don't get caught in the 1 minute. It's so easy to get, at least for me, I don't know about you guys. I get sometimes too, I've noticed, at least when I find myself offsides and struggling, it's usually because I haven't zoomed out in a little bit, and I just need to keep reminding myself of what's happening on the higher time frames and not get sucked into the lower time frames too much. Unless the direction is like stupid clear and I can just play, you know, easy longs or easy shorts, but yeah, you don't need any indicators at all, technically. I mean, it's not really an indicator. It's just showing you price action. It would be the same thing as like having another time frame, like on another monitor or side by side. I'm just kidding. You guys need Bollinger Bands, stochastics, RSIs, pivot levels, and you need harmonic patterns to automatically print on your chart if you want to be a good trader. If it's overbought, sell it. If it's oversold, buy it. If you're hitting the lower band, buy it. If you're hitting the upper band, sell it. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. Oh, don't forget the EMAs. Yeah, you got to have a couple EMAs on there too. And VWAP. You cannot forget VWAP. Where is VWAP? Do I have that saved actually? Hell yeah. I forget that the VWAP is like, it actually kind of is like a Bollinger Band. You get these two outside bands. Where is it? Let's get these upper and lower bands off there. Oh my God, boys. Oh my God, boys. Look at that. Look at that VWAP tap. Oh my God. 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 Oh my God, oh my God. What a beautiful VWAP tap, boys. Oh my God. Right? So what happened to MNQ? What's going on? What did I miss? MNQ. What? Nice. That's crazy. Was anybody in longs MNQ just now and got wicked out? I mean, what the fuck? What kind of meme coin fuckery is this? That's crazy. That has actually happened to me though when it was really volatile. I don't know if you guys remember this. We had that happen actually on stream where we had this random wick on the MNQ that took me out of my trade, but the wick didn't happen on NQ. And then the trade ran. Oh my God. Why does it do that? That sucks. That's crazy. Did anybody were you affected by the wick? Anybody out there? Who got did dirty? Anyone? Couple of you guys? Oof. Oof. Ghosted through stop loss didn't stop you? Wow. Might have to go buy a lottery ticket, Connor. Might be your lucky day. Yeah, I don't like this price action as of right now. I don't see anything that I'm like wanting to get involved with. I still kind of want to see how we close here on the hourly. Macro is beginning. Kind of just chopping back and forth this gap. Another wick higher. So MNQ's on some funny business today. That's crazy. You know what it is, boys and girls. It's all the sim funded prop traders out there trading the MNQ. Market makers said, "Fuck this. We're tired of these guys taking our sim liquidity. Let's fucking teach these guys. Let's teach these guys a lesson." I think that's what's happening here. Was tempted to long, but it was against my plan. Thank God I was not in that. Wick would have killed me. Yeah, that's a wicked wick. Badumts. But yeah, man, I mean, if we can get this flip, I'm okay looking for upside towards that London high. You can see the hourly flipping back bullish now. If it can hold. London high is 585. We're actually not that far off. We're only like 60 points, 70 points off. ES is still kind of just hanging out down here. Hourly close in 6 minutes. I think I'm just going to wait for that. I think I'm just going to wait for that. If you guys are already going long off of any of this structure here, bullish fair value gap, good luck. Good luck. Wait, what? No Lambo is crazy, LMAO. Just lost half my combine. Bruh. Trump talking? Why'd this happen? Why you bearish? What the fuck? When people say trading is gambling, this is what they don't see. What do you mean? What don't they see, Francesco? That you lost half your combine? Are you talking about our commentary so far? About us being patient, waiting for some confirmation? These wicks? Oh. What do you mean? So you're saying these wicks are like the house taking your money? Just bought 3 combines and lost 2. 1 eval left, bro. Oh, Francesco, hey. Third time's a charm, but we'll give you 5 big booms for the other 2.
Boom! 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 Boom!
I feel good about this third one, though, Francesco. You know? Micro and mini SMT is at a confluence. I mean, I would say maybe it would be if it was like a really significant level, like a London high, London low, something like that. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't really care to look at it like that. Also, might be one of those days where you might not want to be like as stingy with stop placement. You know, like NQ loves to make these big retracements. Like if we're in more of like just a slower moving day, high resistance day, you'll see a lot of times like if you don't have your stop like all the way at like a swing low, you could see like a 90% retracement on a you know an impulse leg on NQ, and if your stop is stingy whatsoever, a lot of times it can get tagged. What's up, help? You did not miss anything. You've just been missing us yapping a little bit. Trying to just get us to the end of the hour here. Looking like the hourly, unless something changes here in the next couple minutes, unexpectedly, this hourly close, though, is making me start to lean more upside. Obviously, yes, this 15-minute gap is still holding for now, but we'll likely, again, unless something changes in the next couple minutes, we'll get a closure above, the midpoint of this gap. And then this hourly candle will have taken the low. We filled the new week opening gap on ES already. And then just this closure makes me view this as a rejection block to potentially send it back higher. We got hourly gaps up here as well above New York midnight. As potential targets. But honestly, I don't know. If price just looks like shit all day and we end up not taking anything, I'm fine with that too. But I just don't want to. I just want to take something and then ends up we just get like just shit action, just sideways chop or like a seek and destroy and just get stuck in this range for an hour and a half. But to me, this long would make sense. At least back up into here if we can get this. Disrespect, which looks like we were getting. Hourly close in a minute. Like, would you want it to retrace to like equilibrium? Are you saying equilibrium of like this? That'd be the idea, kind of, yeah. And then if you really wanted to be ambitious, like this fair value gap in New York midnight is in a, relative premium of this range, right? This is probably about OT of the range here. So yeah, that'd be kind of the idea. If you really wanted to, be a real horny bull, you could maybe see if we got the legs for London high. Up to you, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing too, Connor. I've been kind of waiting to see some convincing, like, actual displacement through highs. You can maybe make the argument that you like that we gapped over this internal high here. This was just a little bit too early for me yet, though, because the 15-minute candle, where did we close here? This was actually the close of the 15. Got this impulsive drive higher, so maybe you look to play this off the retracement, maybe back down into this gap first presented in this structure here. I don't know. I just wasn't in love with it. I was okay with waiting. New hourly candle here, guys. Just opened up. So now we've got this bullish breaker here. Obviously, we're going to have SMT, kind of SMT on both sides of the range right now. NQ is definitely the stronger. But this was... I wonder if I want to fade this. And this hourly, I would want to see this rejection block hold. We ended up flipping that entire previous hourly candle bullish. I think we get the hourly inversion as well. Not quite, but closing above 50% of that gap. Not holding this. May look to hop in along here if we're going to look to hold this. Yeah, let's go for it, boys and girls. I'm going to try this long, and I'm going to go stop down here. Give this a try. Go for like an even 2R. Oh, actually, my fill's up here. Let's see. If it ends up being like a seek and destroy condition, then obviously this trade's probably going to be fucking cooked, but... Might be cooked. Trump is speaking. All right. Tell him to say something good at least. Talking about Israel? Oh, fuck. Yeah, that might not be good. Yeah, it's not looking great, boys. It's actually looking more like a 10 a.m. reversal now. This gap can't hold. Let's see. I mean, just going to let it play here. But, taking on heat. Taking on heat right now. MNQ. As long as there's no fuckery on the one that I'm trading, I'm cool with it. Oh, here we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get that fat ass up there. Oh, great. It pissed it off. Nothing like the infamous talk shit to NQ, get your trade stopped out. Shortly after. We wide together. Yeah, to me, it just makes the most sense on the higher time frames after what we've seen on the hourly and the 15. So I can't, I guess you could frame shorts if you're just looking off this internal structure and expecting like price to kind of return back into the range more seek and destroy profile, but blowing on your screen does usually help. Yeah, that actually is true. That actually is true. Nicer, more like a gentleman? Nah. No, NQ is a dirty, dirty slut, and I'm going to treat it like it is exactly that. Listen, I love NQ, I do, but I wouldn't bring NQ home to meet the folks. I just wouldn't, too wild, too nasty. Like, sometimes NQ just has no class. I think that's really my issue. Just no class whatsoever, just like total degeneracy. So for that reason, I'm out. But whenever we get together, it's always a good time. It's never a dull moment. It's always fun. And we've really created a lot of memories together and more in the future, but I mean, she can be bipolar, I guess is what I'm trying to say. NQ can be bipolar. It's a love-hate, you just gotta roll with the punches. More ass than class. There you go. Her twin sister ES. Yeah, I mean, she's a little bit she was born with an extra chromosome. So she's fun as well. I mean, just a happy-go-lucky type of a vibe there, but nothing serious going on there in terms of a romantic relationship. And now we're wicking this high. Oh my god, bro. Please no. Get your ass up there and close. Yeah, that's better. A little better. True day open. Yeah, that's kind of my target here. In this hour, this is an hourly gap up here as well. See if we can get 2R out of this. Once we get up like 1R, could maybe look to go break even. More tame. Yeah. You like that description? She was raised better. She had a father in the home. And I mean, NQ really didn't. I mean, just kind of what it is. Got in with the wrong crowd in high school. And just never been the same. It's never been the same. I know macro just ended as well. I am keeping my eye on that as well. Little lackluster here. I'm trying to be patient and let this play. But my patience is wearing thin. Yeah, no. I'm going to cut this off. Down 100 bucks. I'm going to cut it off, boys. Just like the liberals are doing to the kids these days. We're going to cut it off. Let's see if this holds. Or if I saved myself a full stop loss. Let's see. It'll be a little heartbreaking if it holds here and then we fly, but yeah. W close, boys and girls. W close. The bad thing is the executions makes it look like I took a full stop, but no, sir. W close prevented a full stop there. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Yeah, realistically, and I'm glad someone mentioned it in the chat before I even did, but I was keeping my eye on this. Like, we had the close of the macro, like, right here, right? So, realistically, for this delivery to have worked out, like, in my opinion at least, it should have really happened in that macro if we're going to get that movement away. So, once we got to the end of that macro, I was like, oh, goodness, we're not getting any sort of, like, follow-through here. And, you know, now we're all the way back down in this range. Totally disrespected these gaps. We'll see if this holds for lower. This is a bearish breaker here. Some of you guys might be looking at that, but it's actually, I don't know, it's just kind of looking more so like chop, seek, and destroy kind of, you know, might see price just hang out in this range, honestly. I don't think I missed anything. Was there any higher time frame gaps in here? No. Immediate rebounds on the 15. Digging into this hourly wick. I still think you could frame either direction, but trying to do what we can with what we got, right? Ruben said no balls. Fuck you, Ruben. Come on, man. I'd rather have no balls than no money left, right? Oh, that's a good one, right? That's what we got to start saying. When you close your trade early because you're not liking the way that it's looking, to save yourself from a bigger loss, that's what we got to say, right? It's better to have no balls than no money. I think that makes sense. That's pretty good. Maybe we weren't panicking, but you got to, I mean, let's be honest. As a trader, you have to be fucking objective with what's happening on the chart. Like, you know, when you're in a good trade, you know what it is supposed to look like. We've taken enough trades at this point. You know what a good trade looks like. You know how a good trade moves. And you know, we all do it. We have plenty of moments where we're like, oh, like your discretion kind of takes over and you're like, I know that this isn't looking good, but for whatever stubborn ass reason, you hold on to the trade anyway, and then you take a full stop out. You take a full stop out because you're trying to, like, you know, be a robot and not use any of your experience or discretion to help you at all. And I just don't really believe in that. I guess I don't believe in, like, the concrete robot mode, if you will. Like, every trade is a little bit different. Every trade is a little bit unique. And to say that you're never going to allow your experience or discretion to help you out, I just feel like is doing yourself a disservice. Like, what's the point of having the experience then? You know? So, either way, it's just trading is just making decisions and live with it either way. But we all know what a good trade looks like and what a not so good one looks like and what it's supposed to do if it goes according to plan. So, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. Is anybody still, I guess, maybe looking for longs out of this? I know some of you guys are actually looking for shorts. I don't know if anybody is shorting this right now. Fuck, this is tough. I don't really know what we're about to do here. I still would like to, just based off everything we've already outlined from the 15 and the hourly, would like to see higher here, but It's fighting it. Fighting it a little bit. We got this inversion here now. Kind of just at a odd time. 10-16. You know, I don't know. Could we get some displacement above this high would be helpful. You know, it would go a long way. See your comment? I must have missed it, Lang Trades. What was it? This is where order flow doesn't make sense to me. There is so much on the heat map between 542 and 550. So why wouldn't it go take it? Why would it reverse here if order flow is bullish and there's liquidity? Yeah, it's a great question, Lang Trades. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a heat map or book map trader at all. I know like the like Miriam and Matt on Tradeify TV also use bookmap, and they're looking at bookmap quite a bit. And I hear them mention that a lot, where it's like, what do they call it? Spoof orders in the order book, and then like we'll have big areas of liquidity, and then we just won't go take them out. We'll reverse. And I mean, if anything, it just goes to show it's like, because I feel like whenever I lose a trade, I feel like there's very often times I'll get people commenting on my shit saying stuff about order flow and about like, oh bro, you didn't see the fucking liquidity on the book map, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But it's like, where are they at when that scenario happens, right? Lang Trades, it's just cherry picking. It's like you can have liquidity on the book map and not go take it out, right? So it's not any different. The reality is, here's the reality, boys and girls. What is the current condition of the market? Are we expanding or are we consolidating? If we are consolidating, guess what? We're all fucked. Let me make it real fucking simple for you. If we're consolidating and you are not trading in a ping pong like fashion, support and resistance, you're getting fucked. I don't care if you're an open range breakout trader. I don't care if you're an ICT trader looking for expansion. Expanding markets are the easiest to trade for all of us, pretty much. And if you're getting caught in chop, I'm sorry, it just ain't pretty for you. But if you're scalping it, that's the only way you can do it. That's the only way. That's the only way it's going to work for you. But that's really the reality, right? If the conditions are not conducive with most strategies, which most strategies I would say thrive in expansive or expanding markets. I mean, that's just. Can you limit your upside, or can you limit your downside? Can you limit your downside? Can you touch that? There is no holy grail. Amen. There are so many orders sitting between 525 and 550. 525 and 550. Well, what the hell, man? Why did my long not take me to TP, dude? What's going on? Iceberg orders? I have no idea what that is. Also, boys and girls, what do you guys think? Titanic, obviously, that was an inside job, right? That was the Fed, like JP Morgan, the Fed, sinking it so they could create the Fed, I should say, actually. Right? Fucking iceberg. I don't know. Profitable traders over time aren't scalpers. You know what's crazy though? I feel like we've seen some decent examples of scalpers doing well, like in the prop space. I never want to shit on one style of trading. I think scalping can work. It's just I just know it's not how a lot of us don't really trade that way. If you can see the orders, so the market is that easy, LOL. Yeah, well, that's just it. That's just it. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandma died on that boat. So disrespectful. Let me guess. She was the one that wouldn't let Jack on the door. That's why he died. So, thanks, Mamaw. You had plenty of room on the door. Fucking greedy. Just like, scoot over. What the fuck? Good lordy. All kinds of traders, high frequency scalpers are a thing and make millions doing it. Yeah, I believe that, Kev, 100%. Like I said, I'm not a strategy or a style supremacist. Or supremacist. Supremacist. I really believe you can make money all sorts of different ways in trading, but every system will have its days, good and bad. She was the door jam. Well, boys. Here comes the drop. Here comes the drop. Question is, can we get to the... Why did that change? That is not right. How did my new week opening gap consequent encroachment get all the way down here? Now stay. Good boy. Why can't I see it? Oh. This is what... NQ's doing his thing again, boys. This is why you can't bring... This is why you don't bring NQ home to meet the folks. 1 minute she's this, next minute she's that. You know what I mean? Your grandpa will have a stroke just talking to her at the dinner table. So... So, anywho. But yeah, I don't know. I would say, for now, pretty pleased with the way that I managed that, cutting that off early. Not seeing that follow through. Down a little bit, $100 on the day. But definitely more seek and destroy-ish right now. So I guess kudos to anybody that played it like that. This is pretty wild. In my opinion, the more information you have on the market, the better. TP hit, but slippage is trash as fuck. Took a long scalp there. We entered 15-minute FVG. Proved that scalping works, but in the long run, you will most likely fail. Wick 3 times now. 1,500 off that wick. Chase the market, I feel like being slapped by someone. Chase the market, I feel like being slapped by someone. I saw a meme over the weekend on Twitter. It was, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like a guy sitting at a trading desk, and a guy was sitting like on the other side of his desk with a gun pointed at him. And the caption said, "This is what most retail traders need to stop breaking their rules." And I was like, that's actually, imagine how helpful that would be. Imagine if you had someone right over your shoulder, gun to your head, like, if you break your rules today, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. Could be useful. One tick to TP and pull back to break even. Oh no. That's tough. That is tough. You bring ES to my... There you go. Would you say this is seek and destroy? I would, Brinks. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think so. I mean, we're getting shallow drives above and below the range right now. We're kind of forming this broadening formation. So I would say so. I'm not a big stickler on... Some people will probably be like, no, Tyler, it's not seek and destroy. It's high resistance conditions. Like, whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit. It's all the same. It does pretty much the same thing to me. Like... All I know is when I'm trading it, it does the same thing. It doesn't deliver well. I would say you're more likely to get stopped out on... like, high resistance can be fine. Like, your stop can be safe usually, but usually you have to suffer through, like, retracements and grindy action. I guess seek and destroy, you're more likely to get stopped out because it's just going to keep rating lows and highs. So that's mainly the difference, but... either way, it can be mentally draining to trade either one. But yeah, I would classify this as more seek and destroy right now. Honestly, I would kind of say that if this is seek and destroy over high resistance, we should probably go lower here again. And maybe drive like below these lows here, but could just be more high resistance if we end up seeing this move all the way back up now, right? Like if we end up seeing this flip, and the high resistance would be basically framed off the fact that this, oh, I keep touching that thing. The high resistance would be framed off the fact that we got this hourly gap here that we are currently trading inside of. And you can see the wicks, bodies closing, wicks doing the damage. So I guess hindsight will tell us what the true condition is, but I mean, as of right now, it seems very, it's definitely high resistance, but very much seek and destroy-ish as of right now as well. PEJW says, beautiful PA. I'm in long and shorts. Nice. Can you please fund my account? I'm subbed. No. It's Monday and destroy. Other 2 people besides me like the stream. Only 2 other people? No, I don't think that's true. Like the stream, boys and girls. 68 likes. We need at least 1 more like. Can someone please fund my account? I don't think so. Wicks on MNQ are just searching for stops, bro. What is going on? Is MNQ still freaking out? Oh my god. Look at these. This actually is kind of wild. Look at this. Like perfect equal lows. And damn near equal highs. So yeah, I don't know how you guys would classify this day right now. If you would classify this as seek and destroy already. Or just high resistance. But like I said, I think if this is more truly a seek and destroy profile, I think we see another drive lower here, to be honest. But hey, we talked about it. The first thing that we talked about to start the stream was we'll see what the day brings. NFP protocol this week, yes. However, also FOMC on Wednesday. And it's the only day with no red folder news. So, you know, if you're going to have an expectation for quote unquote shittier price action, you know, this is the day you're going to choose. This is the day mostly in the week that you're going to choose. So, yeah, I would just say, as of right now, for me, I'm just hands off the mouse right now. I'm just watching this. If you guys are trading this, good luck. I would just say, be smart. Don't be a degenerate too much. You know, have whatever you're willing to risk on the day or the session, and don't go over that out of emotion or anything, right? Like, somebody on here probably needs to hear it. Like, the week is just getting started. You don't need to frickin' retire tomorrow. You're not gonna get the world record prop firm payout today, so no need to trade like it. You know, if you're gonna go on tilt, you might as well go on tilt on like a good day. You know what I mean? Like, why go on tilt on a day like this? No news Monday. What? Like, why do it? Why? Go on tilt like one of the other days with all the red folder news. Where at least, you know what I mean? At least you're gonna get probably some big expanding moves, some cleaner deliveries. I mean, come on, you know. Would have taken an L if I traded. Yeah, I technically did take a little L. I went long up in here, but then after the macro ended and we started pulling back against the trade, I closed it for a small loss, and then we ended up going to my full stop loss. So I saved myself. Instead of losing 500, I'm only down 100. Or I think I was risking like a little over $400 there, but so I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I would have been a little bit more upset because I was telling myself to close this trade off when the macro ended and we were like failing to close above these highs. Like you guys heard me say in that trade, I was like, oh, when it started wicking down, I was like, get your ass back up there and close. and then it still ended up closing below the high here. At that moment, I was like, macro over. This might not be good. So I would have been more mad if I didn't close it, because I saw that not working out after that. Yeah, there's SMT pretty much all over the place right now, Michael, and especially between MNQ and NQ E-mini. But yeah, I'm not sure. A lot of manipulation happening right now. Sounds like some people were getting wicked to oblivion on the micro contracts a little earlier, so what a time to be alive. Stop loss at 3 restarts. There you go. Bro. Honestly, at this point, you deserve it if you trade in this. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Break even for the day, says Upneat. Yeah. Green, $900 on 2 accounts. Most importantly, W for day, self-discipline, 2 trades and done. Nice, Michael. Yeah. I mean, you guys can feel free to share in the Discord as well. If you guys took any executions in here, feel free to drop those in the Discord. And but only do it if you're gonna frame the, like, put some annotations on there. Like, what are you framing the analysis based off of? And also, was your bias that we were gonna get more range bound, you know, high resistance / seek and destroy type conditions? Feel free to drop those in the Discord if you want, boys and girls. Oh, nice. The bot literally just... Great timing. I did not plan that, by the way. That just happened. The bot just dropped it in the chat. Man, oh man. Otherwise, yeah, 10:30. It's already 10:30. Wow. I feel like this time's kind of flying a little bit here. Basically, barcode 30-minute action. You know, I still, again, even this, the 30-minute candle closure here, we get the change in the state. I'm not looking to put on a long right now, but I'd be lying if I said that, like, yeah, at least on the 15 and the 30, would have thought more upside potentially. Let's go to 4 hour. Yeah, and just look at how the previous 4 hour candle closed. We ended up closing the previous 4 hour candle all the way, like, we wick all the way down, 50% of the gap, basically rebalance. And we trade all the way back up and close at the weekly open. Traded up, we did, oh, I guess we didn't even point this out. Didn't even notice this. A little 4 hour gap here. No wonder this is so high resistance. What the fuck? Wow. Didn't even realize. See how easy it is, boys, to lose sight of the higher time frames? You could be looking at the higher time frames and still miss something. My goodness. Wrote it in chat 20 minutes ago. Can't prove it, modern life. Modern tech life can't prove it. I don't believe you. I think you're making it up. Scroll up. Nah, I'm good. My scroll button actually doesn't work. I'm trolling you, modern tech life. I'm sure you wrote it, but I do miss stuff in the chat every once in a while. Yeah, boys. crypto's down. What the fuck? Come on. I might as well delete that. Well, let's do this. Let's put a poll in the chat. I'm not going to do a P&L check just yet, but let's say in the next hour. Well, guess we can do this. How are we feeling? We're right in the middle of this range here. So the question is, are we going to buy side first or are we going to sell side? Sell side 464. 529 here for buy side here. What are we feeling? What are we feeling? Kind of liking these equal lows here. And especially now knowing that this was a 4-hour gap. I thought we were just running into like... I didn't realize we were running into a 4-hour gap up here. We will see, though. I'm not going to take anything right this second, obviously, but... What are we thinking? More people liking the sell side right now. Oh, Ruben. Thanks for the reminder, Ruben. Good point.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
This is for anybody that overtraded in this today.
Back where you fucking started, Wagey. Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll hang out for like 10, 15, 20 more minutes. You know, obviously if we just see more chop, I'm probably not going to be looking to take anything else today. At least not this morning. I don't really see anything good here. It feels like a gamble. It feels like a coin flip right now. Yeah, we could see some better PM session delivery after this morning. No news Monday. What you guys expecting? Exactly. I would say we came in today with the right expectation. But it's fun to complain about, Merzak. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want us to do as traders? We're sitting here, we're watching price action. We know that it's going to likely be choppy. And when it is choppy, what do we get to do? We get to complain about it. We're going to exercise the right to do that as traders because it's fucking fun. It's fun to complain about price action.
Doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Right? Give me an amen, boys. Give me an amen.
Oh, make you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I am saying? Man, oh man. It's like complaining about a coworker. Yeah, or like you could get away from a coworker, but maybe like an in-law, Dom. What do you think? I mean, I don't have any in-laws, technically. But that seems also like it could be a fitting analogy. You can't get away from them as easy, you know what I mean? Coworker you can get away from a little bit easier. Anyway, well, all right, looking at the poll in the chat, this is, I guess, 50-50. Only 100 people voted, so the other 350 of you that didn't vote, I guess, way to be a party pooper. But looking at the poll in the chat, we got pretty much 50-50. I mean, it's some of you guys think buy side, some of you guys think sell side. It's basically like half and half. So that's nice. I don't know. We can do a little P&L check, see where everybody's standing. We'll see what 11 a.m. macro has in store, if anything significant. Oh, I got a good one here. Red. Hang on, boys. You stay right there. Don't touch that dial. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. All right. All right, here's your options for the poll, boys and girls, for the P&L check. Green, red, but red with good discipline, meaning like you didn't overtrade, didn't break any rules, you didn't do anything like you shouldn't have done. Or red, you got fucked. And you fucked up. You fucked around a little too much and you found out more than you bargained for. Those are your two options for red, because they're two different reds, right? Now, sometimes red days happen, and they, you know, but you did what you could, and that's, you know, that's gonna happen. But it's the other red that could be bad. It's the other red that could be bad. Very small green. Hey, listen, we're not above any amount of green over here. I do think it's such a true statement. You guys have heard the whole, like, it's been mentioned a shit ton on social media now, but it's so true. Like, the idea of like you'll go to work a job to make, you know, whatever, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour, but yet you are so pissed off about a trade or a trading day where you only make like a couple $100 or $100. You know what I mean? Even for like a 15-minute trade, a 5-minute trade. Ain't that an interesting perspective? It's so true. But like, for whatever reason, you'd be tickle pink if somebody were to offer to pay you that, like, on an hourly basis, but a 5-minute trade makes you 3 times that and you're not happy. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff being a trader. Do you risk down when you are on a losing streak? I mean, I try to stay pretty consistent. When I size down anyway, I'm gonna call you Dada. No, I'm not gonna do that either. I would say I size down when I'm like truly like just I'm offside with my analysis and I can't get my direction correct. So I size down when I feel like I'm just finding myself offside often with the direction and I'm just wrong. That's when I size down. Now, granted, that also generally comes with probably some level of a losing streak. So yes, but it's not just because I'm losing. You know, I feel like I'm not really risking too much per trade anyway. And I'm not sizing down just because I'm losing. It's because of a different reason, right? Like, I have no problem taking a couple of losses, but as long as my analysis was right, usually those losses, if my analysis is right, comes from like something that I did wrong. that I guess is more easily fixable, if that makes sense. Like, it's in my control to fix whatever that was. So that's what I kind of base it off of. But obviously a losing streak kind of comes with that. So I guess you could say yes, but you know, I felt like there was a few weeks in June where I felt that way. So I did size down until I kind of felt like I was, you know, able to get more back on side. And really the problem was for me in June, if I'm just gonna be honest, like, you know, we rallied so hard after obviously the tariff news, everything dropped the market, you know, just looking at the monthly, I'm sorry, this is the weekly. Looking at the monthly chart here, like this was our March, April. Obviously April was insane. Tariffs went into effect, and then May we retraced this whole move. So I guess really my problem was in June, like we kept leaving behind like daily and weekly gaps, and we would just not come back for them. So I'm sitting here, you know, I was sitting there probably, you could argue, forcing some shorts. And all the shorts that did work out, like I would get taken out, or it would hit like one TP or like a low hanging fruit target, and then reverse, and I get set up to break even, and then I would just be sitting there like getting a little frustrated because we're not getting price retracing back into, you know, gaps, and gaps are being left open. So for that reason, I did size down a little bit in June. I was trading basically all micros because of that, because I was offside as a result, you know. So I feel like that's a decent recent example. But found out you can reset your account 3 times a day. I found out you can reset your account 3 times a day. You just found that out? There used to be a time where you could reset it basically an infinite amount of times in a day. Days like this, I would have crashed out 3 months ago, trading 40 times. Off to work. Thanks for the like, Kookie. Appreciate it, dude. Have a good day, man. Yeah, you don't have red days at a job, so your green days need to make up for that. Now, interesting point, TS. I mean, I guess technically you're right, because you're going to get paid regardless for being on the clock. But some would maybe make the argument that, what is that costing you in terms of opportunity, though? What's the opportunity cost of being stuck at the job that you might not love? Now, if you love your job, that's fantastic. That's different, though. We all could probably agree that most people really don't. I mean, that's probably why you guys are trading. If you guys loved your job and never want to do anything else and never want to make any more money than you make at your job, you wouldn't be trading, right? I mean, that kind of goes without saying. So, you know, what's the opportunity cost? That's it. Anyway. Hovering around the point of control. Yeah, we're hovering around a lot of stuff right now. Macro is starting here in like 30 seconds. I just want to see what we do here. Obviously, I have this gap here frame. We'll see if it runs this. A lot of stacked equalos in here. This is pretty tough. Never say never. But I'm anticipating that I probably won't put on another trade. I'll tape read this, though. I'll tape read this. We'll see if this would play. What's up, Regal? What's the PAL check for you? I don't know what that means. All right, I'd be break even now if I had taken said trade. Oh, P&L? Down 140. 140 bucks per account. Closed off, well, it wasn't profit for a little bit, but no follow through. I closed it off early, and then it went to my full stop, so it was a good close. Shouldn't break us. It shouldn't break us financially. I shouldn't have to declare bankruptcy just yet. So we lived it. We lived to tell the tale. nice modern tech life. Yeah, I wasn't trying to shit on jobs, by the way, boys and girls. I used to be that guy back in the day, but no, that's very foolish. Obviously, you know, I think my background story is a little bit different though. Like I was, you know, I was one of those people that kind of went all in on, I don't know, I guess you could say entrepreneurship back in 2017. Dropped out of college, quit my jobs, went all in on various different things, opportunities, and you know, that was just my decision, you know. But I don't think that decision is, you know, it definitely created some stressful times, some hard times for me. So like there were times where I'm like, oh, I fucked up, you know, I shouldn't have quit my jobs. And you guys know, for you guys that are trading for a while, like, you know, having a reliable source of income, like, it helps you trade so much better. So, you know, when you go, that's why people always talk about, like, they romanticize the idea of like going all in and just being a full-time trader. I mean, it sounds great, but I mean, it's stressful, right? Like you're not guaranteed to make money trading, and what are you going to do when your bills keep coming in, but maybe you have a red month? So it's something that you got to factor in. But it was easy for me to do that though, because obviously no kids, no like obligations, no responsibilities outside myself, and I was young, right? So I'm like, at that time I was 22, I think. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm like college will always be there. I'm like, I can always go back. You can always go back and get a job. You can always go back and make money. You could always, or I'm sorry, you could always go back to a job. You could always go back to school. But I'm like, I can't always go back and maybe have the same opportunities to make money necessarily. So that was a risk I was willing to take, but paid off in the long run. But at the time, it definitely created some stressful times. Let's say you have a job and you're making from trading 2 times your salary. Would you quit? If you're making 2 times your salary, is this a hypothetical or is this like your situation? I can't, or are you just asking to ask? But if you're making 2 times your salary, would you quit? Well, I guess the question would be, one, do you hate your job where like it's ruining the quality of your life? Then maybe you consider it. But the cool thing about trading is the fact that it doesn't take a lot of time. If you're doing it right, like some of you guys could be done trading after 15, 30 minutes, an hour, right? Some days you get a trade right away and it's perfect and you know, you're done in 15, 30 minutes. So it's like, what are you going to do with the rest of your time? Do you want to go, you know, if you like your job, you can go work your job. No need to quit just to quit. But if it hurts your, I guess, mental health for whatever reason, and you don't like your job, then maybe that's a choice you make. But you still want to find something to fill your time. You know, I don't know, unless you're just going to, I guess, fuck off the rest of the day. But I think when you're not doing something, when you're not building something and doing something that, you know, you have a passion for, that you love doing, and brings you some level of fulfillment and sense of accomplishment, I think that's how people become depressed, to be honest. Like, you got to think about it. If you're not doing anything that's like you're building for, striving for, getting better at, something that is giving you some level of accomplishment and satisfaction, I mean, just making money from trading is not going to, you know, you have to fill some empty spaces in that soul of yours, would be my assumption. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I would base it off of, Nazar. I guess if you hate your job and you're making 2 times your salary and you want to quit, then I mean, you're justified to do it as long as you've been making the money somewhat consistently and you kind of understand the patterns of, you know, what your income can kind of look like. Maybe not in a weekly to monthly basis, but even over like a 90-day period, like a quarter. If you can have a pretty good prediction of what you're going to have, you know, coming in, then, you know, that's a decision you can maybe consider responsibly. But I would also say you should have a good nest egg built up before you do anything rash like that. You know, I think the standard people usually say is like have, you know, 6 months of expenses put away. Yeah, like, oh yeah, Enrico just put it in there. You need to reserve money like 3 to 6 months. Yeah, I mean, but you could even do more than that, like 6 to 12, 12 to 18 months. You know, you're never gonna have too much. Guess it just depends how big are those cojones. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, ain't it? How big are those cojones? You know? This short will play out, says Davidson. It might. She just might. I did not take this trade. This is a tape read, by the way, boys and girls. This would have been my break even had I taken it, just because we're taking a bunch of generated sell side. And obviously, if it were to displace back up into the range, it might be a little bit fishy, but looks good for lower right now. This price action is more chop than me. In a third world country, $1,000 will make me a king here. What country is that, Nizar? See, that's what we need to do. Yeah, that's what we need to do, boys and girls. We need to move. We need to move somewhere where, if you have a little bit of money in the United States, but it's a lot of money somewhere else, you just go there and now you're rich. I looked up cojones. Hey, now you know, Yash. Hopefully. Now you know. But yeah, looking at the poll in the chat, 240 votes. Most people are flat, actually, so that's pretty good. And 24% red, good discipline. 21% red, not so good discipline. And some green, yeah. So I do live in the United States, yes. America. Also, boys and girls, we will be live tomorrow morning with Brett Simba. He should be joining us at some point tomorrow morning. So we'll probably be doing some fun stuff on the stream tomorrow. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for him, obviously we'll kind of get into a little bit of his background and how he trades as well. But I guess the student is in a favorable position to trade since there's no job other than studies. Yeah, I guess it all depends on the situation, Festo, right? I wasn't necessarily like a broke college student because growing up, my dad owned like a auto body repair shop, and he forced me to work for him, like all throughout, like middle school, high school, and he wouldn't let me touch my paychecks ever. So what he would do is he would basically he would give me like $20 cash out of my paychecks growing up, so I would have for like whatever various shit, and then he would put the rest either into some sort of savings or some sort of investment account, and like that was just what it was. So luckily when I did turn 18 and I graduated high school, like I had a little bit of a savings. Funny enough though, I actually my first big lesson in like my adult life is I got this, control of this money essentially when I was like I said 18. And I basically bought equity in a company. Basically took all my money to do it, and the company went under. But hey, you can't tell me I didn't have any cojones, boys and girls. What did 50 Cent say? Get rich or die trying. Fuck yeah. From my experience, people have the word consistency mixed up. 12 to 24 months of not blowing accounts, consistent payouts or growth. I've seen people make tons, then go bust a year or two later. Yeah, that's true. On this channel, what do you mean, Cole? Yeah, we'll be live on this channel. Yeah. SMT 1530, non-inverting 15. Yeah. This is Yap Festo. That is correct. Yes, sir. Big ol' Yap sesh. Coke and hookers? No. I wish. I'm just kidding. I don't wish. Well, anyway, boys and girls, I don't know if this will play out. I don't know if anybody's even in anything right now, if you guys are just hanging out while we're all just yapping here, but yeah, safe to say, hopefully you guys, for the most part, stayed safe today. Not really the day to fuck around and find out. Maybe the PM session will look a little bit better. As far as what to expect from here, it's just really, we're kind of just waiting for price to do something outside of this range. I feel like in here it's, who knows how long that this could consolidate for a while. So yeah, I would say don't be a degenerate. Don't do anything you're going to regret later. The week is just getting started. We've got a ton on the economic calendar, boys and girls. So I'm going to hop off for now. I'm going to go and hit the gym, and I'll take a look and see how we look in the PM session. I'll keep you guys updated on X or in the Discord if anything presents itself. But appreciate you guys. Like the stream before you hit the dusty trail. Appreciate you guys as always, and I will see you guys live back here tomorrow morning. So enjoy your day, everybody. I'll see you then.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ charts on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracement to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money, he's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. He's dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. With the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.